virtual no-fly zone, no aircraft within any distance of Manhattan at this time.
That's completely understandable.
Jim, we know you're about 5-6 miles away from downtown Manhattan, but from your vantage point, what update, if any, can you give us on what you're seeing along the streets there?
Well, Michael, we can tell you that some of the smoke, dust, and debris is starting to clear out. Earlier, we were unable to see anything on the lower half of Manhattan. We are currently looking towards the Battery Park area, and we can see some buildings now becoming visible that we were unable to see earlier. We have noticed a lot of...
We're not learning anything new there.
No, nothing there.
Let me see, someone's got a report that PLO is taking responsibility. Josh, where did you hear that? Josh? Josh, are you there? Josh? If Yasser Arafat had anything to do with it, I mean, you know, well, I'm sure he knew about it, but yeah. Now the traffic lanes on the Williamsburg Bridge are filled with people that appear to be coming from the downtown area. They're walking slow. Looks like they're covered in soot, and they're just getting out of the city. All right. How we started? I thought our antennas were over there.
It's not. We moved it after the last
explosion.
No, that's a siren over here.
I don't know what to say at this point.
From the city.
Can you third explosion cause a collapse? It's just out of control. Out of control. Let me see if anybody's got any information here.
Places like...
Darren, go ahead. Darren? Yes, go ahead. Howard, you need to stay on the air. You have the best coverage. You have a bird's eye view with Cabby and Doug in New York. I'm out here in Boston, and your coverage is fantastic, better than the network. Okay, good. Then I'll stay on the air. You've got a great public service right now. You have a network of listeners. I turned off my microphone, so I said to Tom, should I get off the air? And Tom said, believe it or not, you're doing a good job here, and people are calling like crazy. You need to speak, and especially for people outside of New York. So I'll stay on the air. Definitely. All right, thanks. Doing a great job, man. Thanks. It appears that the smoke coming out of downtown has now turned black. So I'm assuming that there's buildings on fire. I mean, that's what only one can assume, because when the building collapsed, it was clear, kind of a cloud of dusty smoke, and now it's pitch black smoke. Just
yeah, they said other buildings were affected, Cabby, when the buildings collapsed.
Hey, Cabby. Well, no, I'm saying they're probably on fire now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They were.
Other buildings are affected now.
Yeah.
Hey, Cabby.
Look at the people. See, they're covered in dust. They're walking out of that area.
Yeah, I see a guy in a suit covered in dust, freaking out. Listen, people are in shock. I'm talking about that other guy next to him.
That, of course, is traveling for miles.
The two towers, 110 stories tall each, and I'm not getting any news about what's going on everywhere. Well, let me talk to Doug. How do they breathe in that area of the city right now? I'll put Doug on with you here, too. Doug?
Hey, so basically the whole city is under major caution for the quality of air. They're afraid the wind is going to shift now. They evacuated all rooftops because if the wind comes, they're afraid, like basically anyone in New York City or within a 5-mile radius is practically in serious danger, is what they're saying, because the air is, once the air shifts, people are just going to take people by storm.
All this dust is going to
you can't survive in it. And the other thing is, Howard, a public service you should do right now is make the best attempt to find how people can volunteer, because the city is I mean, you could get 4 states worth of emergency workers and you're still going to be understaffed.
Hold on, let me ask you a question. Look, where is the smoke headed now? It's headed
I
to
could
downtown
see
Brooklyn.
It's probably within 30 blocks of my apartment, and I'm about maybe 90 blocks away from the Twin Towers.
What direction are you?
I am north of the Twin Towers by about probably 2.5 miles. Or 3 miles. But I mean, it's so visible. Clearly,
what are you doing? You're going to leave? Go ahead, John. What is it, Cabby? The smoke is going basically out to sea almost, like past downtown Brooklyn, towards the Coney Island area.
That's where it's going now, but they're afraid that the wind shift is going to be devastating.
I can imagine, because it'll clog the whole city up. And when we were in the Persian Gulf, Howard, when Saddam Hussein lit the oil wells on fire, we were in smoke as very similar to this for 2 days, and it is impossible to breathe. I mean, we had our gas masks on, of course, at times for 12 hours at a shot. But even through then, you had to
rechange the
Forget I'm
filters,
only going
and all
into
these,
it. I'm
these
just gonna
people
go
in Manhattan
into the
have no gas
Which
masks. They have
probably I
no,
don't even have to
no,
worry
I
about
mean,
because
I would recommend people
workers,
leave
they're
on
not
the
paying
plane.
for this.
they should give anybody a ticket
So
to
what do
there
you do?
for
You
nothing.
can't leave, and yet you can't breathe. And someone just put a thing up on my screen at the
I didn't finish my exercise.
You finished downstairs?
World Trade
Oh.
Center. But Howard, I mean, they need help. Is the bottom line.
Where
Now
is
is
it?
not the time to help, but someone
If they could get the moon,
you know,
they will get it.
people to
They will
volunteer to help. How are they gonna go down there?
blow it up and make it crash right onto Earth.
Where is it?
I don't know, but I mean, the police can't handle it. No emergency crews can handle it.
who knows how many police and fire
I can't
are
get it.
down
I
at the
don't know
base of
where
that
it
thing
is.
and are under all that debris.
I know. This is devastating. Channel 7 has a brief I don't know if they were, you know, if
Nothing's happening.
Nosotros estamos pasando ahora mismo, creo que la
Empire
mejor
State
manera de
Building's still
formularlo,
there.
estamos pasando por una crisis espiritual.
Where is...
Es algo, digo espiritual porque...
Where are the trade centers?
No es solamente psicológico.
Where are the trade centers?
Y como toda la crisis espiritual en que uno se encuentra, el componente...
No trade centers. I'm taking...
This is Thursday, September 13, 2001. We're looking right now at the Brooklyn-Queens Expressway with regular traffic going up and down, supposedly maybe towards the Williamsburg Bridge. Now we're gonna move to the right. Maybe you could catch that flame from the gas company that sometimes is very strong, very powerful. Today is a little dim. And we're gonna continue on to the tanks that today actually hold water, gas, natural gas. They used to be more, but they knocked them down. And now we're gonna move over here to the right. That's all gas company property. And we have that bug-looking building also. And then there's another bug-looking building that looks like it has a moon. And as we pass in this structure here, that rectangular structure, keep in mind that we can see on the left of it the remains of the gas tanks that were imploded at the beginning of this state. And of course now I will let the camera person move us over to the city slowly. And I will continue the navigation. I hope as we move on we see the antennas, and through the antennas we see the marble church that I always like. And as we move and we see the Williamsburg Bridge, and past the bridge we see certain skyscrapers of New York City. And if you walk to the left, we're gonna have to move a little to the left so that we could see where the Trade Center used to be, and all you can see is like a fog that is really the leftover smoke. And you're gonna have to take my word for it that the World Trade Center towers were there. And the only way to confirm that is when you look at all the tapes, you see the ending of the Williamsburg Bridge, and then slightly to the right, in previous tapes, you always saw the World Trade Center towers. They're no longer there. Grace and I met there at the end of 1977. We've been together ever since. And we met there in the number 2, which was the one without the antenna. Number 2, we met on the 73rd floor. And we had many good times there. And the whole area was always very important to us to this day, that we'll always miss it. Now we're gonna go past these trees tops. We're gonna walk over. And if I could identify some of the buildings right here, as this chimney of our building, right here, we have the most famous building in the world in history, the Empire State Building.